see that fella? He's a congressional candidate, alleged QAnon founder, calls himself the digital Rosa Parks, and received a round of applause from members of the GOP as well as elected officials. Here's the video.
What you have to know is that we are living now through a modern digital civil rights movement. And you could call me the new Rosa Parks, because I've been out there, I've been getting canceled left and right over the past few years. I've been on the front lines fighting so you guys can have a voice. And you might say, oh, why? Why is Ron the new digital Rosa Parks? Well, I want to get on the bus. I want to get on the Twitter bus. I want to get on the Google bus. I want to get on the Facebook bus. I want to get on the Chase Bank bus. We have all been kicked off the bus.
I will not be calling you the new Rosa Parks, sir. That will not be happening. This is Ron Watkins. This was at a speech. It's a damn shame. For God and country. That was the name of the speech. Patriot Double Down. This was a QAnon convention in Las Vegas. Okay, let's put up a picture of Ron Watkins again. The self-proclaimed new Rosa Parks. Now here's what's interesting about them identifying themselves connecting to actual civil rights leaders. They will make this connection and get a round of applause, but are antithetical to everything these leaders actually represented. They don't believe systemic racism is real. These leaders did. They don't believe that you have to deconstruct white supremacy. These leaders did believe in deconstructing white supremacy. They believe that somehow we have arrived to where we don't need to talk about race anymore. No real civil rights leader believes that. And that's real, okay? So let me give you some background to this guy. He's been banned from Twitter following January 6 riots. He has built a significant following. It is worth noting that sitting members of the Arizona GOP were in attendance, okay? Sitting Republican lawmakers and Secretary of State candidates endorsed by former President Donald Trump were also listed as attending the QAnon convention. All the Republicans who are listed as attending the event have shared baseless claims that widespread voter fraud denied Trump victory in the 2020 presidential election. The rest of Watkins' speech was littered with usual false claims of that. And during that same speech, he doubled down on his run for Congress. Earlier this month, Watkins announced his intention to run as a congressional candidate for Arizona and repeated baseless claims of widespread voter fraud in a video shared on Telegram, okay? The run is for the Arizona seat in the US House of Representatives. This is going to be quite interesting because he has fans. Nobody is really on the right criticizing him for this ridiculous comparison that he is the new Rosa Parks. Let me take personal offense to what Mr. Watkins has said, okay? Let me tell you why that's so offensive. The movement was about equality and equity, okay? It was about basic freedoms, more than just mobility, more than just the freedom to move around, but the freedom to engage in equitable enterprises, okay? This is not what you believe in, Mr. Watkins. You believe exactly the opposite. You are contrary to the sentiment of those who worked, who fought, who were beaten, and who died in order to make a way for Black Americans. You are adversarial to that notion. But people like Mr. Watkins are ready and willing to co-opt the movement for their own personal agenda and their political narrative, while at the same time denying the substance of the movement and why it was necessary. Michael, what are your thoughts, brother?
Well, first of all, ironic that they talk about Rosa Parks and then they say sitting members of the Republican Party are all there. But I think that, I mean, you said it perfectly. This person is, Rosa Parks was denied a seat on the bus for absolutely no reason other than the color of her skin. This person was kicked off of all of these platforms for multiple reasons. I mean, for multiple offenses, and because it was a message of hate. I'd love to see him go to Cleveland Avenue, Montgomery, Alabama, and with a megaphone, which is now, by the way, Rosa Parks Avenue, was renamed, with a megaphone saying that he's the next Rosa Parks. It's offensive, it's a joke, and the people that are supporting him obviously are as deluded as this guy is, and he will not be in Congress, nor will he be laying in state as Rosa Parks did in the hall.
So. Rosa Parks and the civil rights movement promoted a message of peace and love, while he was kicked off of social media for promoting hate and violence. You do not have a more direct contrast, okay? It's a damn shame.